Welcome back, folks. Welcome to the second video installment of the Togondo tutorial series. This video is focused on what the app looks like from the perspective of a resident once they've been approved to use the app for that particular building. So once again, what we'll do is log in via the Togondo app link that we installed last time. So just click on that, and then that will again give us the option to log in via social media or via login details or our email address. So this time we'll log in with Facebook, for example. And what we'll see is that the app looks quite different this time. So the app has now been rendered to look like the building in question, so Skåne Gardens, as per the last video. And we've also got a lot more options now as to different functions that we can access now that we've been approved to live in that building as far as the app is concerned. So the first thing that we will look at is documents. So quite simply, we now have a repository of online documentation that we can now access. So we can look at AGM material, bylaws, policies. We can look at reserve fund studies, and anything that the board want to put up onto this folder will be accessible by residents and owners who use the app. They can download it to their phone or their laptop or their desktop. We also have the ability to also register a unit, and the reason we have this again is because some people own more than one unit, so they can register another unit. We can also update our profile. So this is where we have our contact details, our property details, our key fobs, parking stalls, pets, and anything else which we feel that the PM should know as a resident of this particular building. So we can add pet details, the type of pet, photos of the pet, parking stalls, key fob numbers to help with things like security audits and others. And we can also raise a request. So this is where we get into the maintenance and the incident raising. So we might have a request that we want to alert the PM to, the property manager to. So we've got lots of different categories here. So we might have a noise complaint, we might have an intercom change, a paint issue, parking issue. But in this instance, let's raise a doors and locks request. So it'll ask you which unit you're dealing with. So I happen to have 2 units in this profile for this example, so 102. It'll tell me that if it's an emergency, it has to be dealt with separately via an emergency hotline. So that's fine, it's not an emergency. I'll put in the location, so say front door, and description is lock. And now what I can do is submit it. So submit, and then that will get sent straight to the property manager for them to action. I can also here on this screen upload a picture, provide some more context about the issue. I happen to be by a door right now, so I'll take a picture of that lock and send that across as well. So yep, okay. That will now be uploaded to the incident, and the PM will be able to view that immediately as well. So great, we're done. It's been added. Let's click done. And as it says here, the request was raised successfully and now will be reviewed by the PM, which is fantastic. So that's service requests. We can also look at all of my requests that I've raised over time. So here we have all the ones that are new, in progress, completed. Oh, and here's a text letting us know that the PM has been assigned to that doors and locks request, which is great, and I can click there to view the update, which is fantastic. So let's go back to Togondo. So I happen to have 6 new amenity bookings, 14 in progress. We now know that there's been a PM assigned to it, which is awesome. And we can also click on this to look at all of the requests that I've raised for unit 102. Doors and locks was the one that I just raised. So click on the more detailed screen, which is this one, and it'll tell you there's a unique ID, there's the severity, there's the description, here's the instructions. It's now with that particular PM, and any of the updates that the PM has added will be attached down here under update request. But for now, I'm happy that it's with the PM, so I won't look into it any further. The final functionality that we have is amenity booking. So we can click on book amenity, and what this will do, this will take us through to the option to book an elevator or a guest suite or a party room, whatever your building might have in your situation. So we'll look at elevator. We have some policy restrictions, we have some photos, we have the costs, and we have a bookable calendar as well. So I can book the dates, and it'll tell me where there's availability. Right now it's fully available. And likewise with the guest suite, I've got some great photos so I can see what it looks like. I've got some features, bathroom, there's a kitchen, microwave, I've got some restrictions, and again, same deal, I can go on, it tells me the costs, booking form, some specifics that the board want to know about, so number of adults, number of children, the guest name, the guest contact number, and again, I can go back to the calendar, choose when I want to book it, so no one's booked it right now, so it's fully available, and in this case, there's a maximum of 7 nights for this particular bookable amenity, and it'll tell me that that's the cost. So right now it's 1 night. There's a deposit paid, and if I flip the slider, it will move the costs accordingly. So that's it. So what I can do with the amenities is look at who's booked it and when, or when it's booked, sorry, and when I can book it, and what all the policy restrictions are, and what all the payments are in terms of costs that are required to book that amenity. The final thing for a resident is that they can look at building-wide event calendar. So what we can see here is that in this particular month, there's a number of bookings. G is guest suite, E is elevator, and we can also see any community events as well. So AGM meetings, committee meetings, barbecues that might be going on. They can all be dropped into the event calendar by the condo board or the PM for the residents and owners to see whenever they log into the app. And that's pretty much it. So you can see that it's a very simple system. There's a number of key functions that residents can see and do as and when they get approved by the PM. But that's basically it. And all of this information, once submitted, will be able to be viewed by the PM. And the next video will focus on the property manager view of the system, which is a bit more detailed. And we'll go through that in the next video. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks.